right side, working with the twos there. And then when we were out there last week, it was him at left tackle and Josh Frye at right tackle. What went into making that decision?
It depends on the day, because we're still digging through those. So we have scarlet groups and gray groups, and we really are. I know Ryan's talked about it too. These guys are out in the middle of it competing. The good news is they're running with ones, running with twos, right, left side. We've got really good defensive ends here too, so we can actually get a really good taste and a feel of how they can handle those guys. And it's still just, early on in camp, and you're not trying to play the shell game to find your 5 best, and we're really still in the middle of that. You're hoping guys can kind of settle up and finalize that, and we'll get to that soon. But it's really, to get good looks, good competition, see who's good right, who's good left, who's good working together that way.
When you switch from
it's Spencer, sorry. Coach, can you scoot up to the mic for me?
Yeah.
I think today's day 11. When do you switch from it's still early in camp to, hey, we really got to start nailing it?
I think we're still 17 days away from the game, so you get through a scrimmage Saturday. It's starting to, shake itself out, and guys are rising. That's what you do. Guys just separate. All positions, both sides of the ball. We're competing all over, and so we're getting closer. I'm feeling confident with some guys, like we said, getting looks against those real guys. And so now they just got to stack good days on top of good days, and that's when guys kind of pull apart and separate there.
Last week when we talked to Ryan, he mentioned that it's kind of a two-man battle for that center job with Carson and Vic. What did those two do to kind of separate from Jacob, and what did Vic do in particular to elevate to that spot? It didn't seem like he was there this week.
Well, it's the same deal. Like, all those guys are still rolling in there, and it's consistency. Like, you got to stack good days on top of good days. If you're in a controlled situation or a controlled period, and then you go to a team period, you got to be able to go play the game. And we do a good job here of trying to give those guys opportunities as we go. And like we said, that really depends on the day of who's on the scarlet and who's on the gray. And I got to look at my script half the time and be like, all right, scarlet guys today, here's how we're going, because we sit and talk through and try to fit those guys in the right places to find our 5 best.
Just a moment. You called Frye, Simmons, Josh, or Jimmy?
I call them all. We got a lot of Joshes in our room, right? So, I like mindless, dumb TV when I can. And so, I kind of related that to, The Office. When Michael Scott goes down, I don't know if you guys watch The Office, he goes in the warehouse, and it's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And it's really, he's down at Daryl Philbin's, but it was Daryl, and then it was Philbin, and then Reed, and then Raj, and it kind of morphed. So I think the Jimmy thing just kind of morphed from, we got a lot of Joshes, and we got a Dilla, we got a Fryer, we got a Simmons. So, in the room, we got the Jimmy there, but he's Josh,
You recruited him when you were at UCLA, I understand, but, what just stood out about him then, and what stands out about him now? I mean, why is he made, number one, why is he fit in so quickly, and number two, why is he made such a, I don't know if it's a quick rise or what you would call it?
He's a more mature guy. That's the thing when you get these guys from the transfer portal. They've known college football. So even with some of those younger guys that came mid-year, they're really still just first-year guys. He's been in a locker room. He's played in college football games. So I think the speed of the game for him was a little slower than an actual rookie. Coming out of high school, it's all the stuff we talked about. You can watch every interview I said when he asked about alignment or evaluation, like space, spin, balance, and burst. I felt out of high school he owned those, and then he continued to develop those, and the need opened up with the spot and the fit, and now he's bought into the room, he's bought into the culture, he's around the guys, he works the way you're supposed to, he's still learning, to work some of the ways that he needs to, and he's around a good room of guys that we know how to do that, and so he's bought into that, and I think that's been the easiest transition for him.
What you need to see from him early? What you need to see from him early to start looking at him at left tackle?
It's just all of those guys rolling. We got a lot of tackles that we've been rolling through, and finding the best fit of who's best next to each other, who's comfortable in space when we need him to be. Because you got a guy like Josh Fryer that played left all spring and moved over and got a lot of reps there. So you don't know that may not be the case if we need that to be as well. So still really in the thick of it. Like I said, we've got scarlet groups, we've got gray groups. These guys are taking a ton of reps. Mike and I, and Coach Philbin and Coach Day and the whole staff, we're evaluating and grading every snap of every guy. So that, when we tee the ball up versus Indiana, we're playing our 5, 6, 7, 8 best, whatever that may be.
So what could
the growth you've seen from Luke over the last 9 months since putting in this position, whether he starts or not, it looks like he's going to get the season. What have you seen from him over the last 9 months since putting in this position?
He's just another freshman that's bought in, that's working really hard. You know, got to get through camp, got to go that way, and you know, he's just ultimately got to keep doing what he's doing and continue to grow and be a better football player.